Alright, hello. This is going to be my video on the entire digestive system. Now, first off, we have an overview. The first part of the digestive system is obviously the teeth, and those are for what they are normally used for breaking down food. Then we got the salivary glands, tongue, epiglottis, esophagus, trachea, stomach, spleen, liver, diaphragm, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine, appendix, large intestine, and rectum. Alright. The next part is past the overview is the mouth. The mouth contains the salivary glands, tongue, epiglottis, esophagus, trachea, lips, teeth, gingiva, hard and soft palate, ova, tonsil, enamel, dentin, pulp cavity, root canal, and nerve fibers. The salivary glands are what create saliva, so then the food can then get down the esophagus, which is a large tube that goes from the mouth all the way to the stomach. A fun fact about the esophagus is that it's 3 meters long. The epiglottis is a flap that keeps the food coming down the esophagus instead of going into the lungs. Then you got the trachea, which is the voice box for the human body, which creates, your voice. We also have teeth, which are, again, used for breaking down food as it's physically going into the mouth and into the system. Lips are just the outside of the mouth that go around. Then we have the gingiva, which are your gums. Then you have the hard and soft palates, which are the top and bottoms of your mouth. So that's hard stuff that's at the top is your hard, the soft is at the bottom. Then you have enamel, dentin, pulp cavity, root canal, and nerve fibers. All of those are associated with the teeth. The dentin and enamel are the very outside of the teeth. The pulp cavity, root canal, and nerve fibers are what's in the teeth. The nerve fibers are what can sense that there is something on the tooth. So that is what concludes of the mouth. After the mouth, you have the stomach. Now, one similar part that the stomach has and the mouth both have is that it's connected through the esophagus, which is, again, is the tube that runs from your mouth all the way to the stomach. The fundus, body, and porous are 3 major parts of the stomach. The floric sphincter and duodenum are the entrance and exit of the stomach. And with that being said, you have the gastric glands. Okay, those are the acids that the stomach has that allows the food to be broken down. You also have the lymph nodal, samusca, blood vessels, smooth muscle, chief cell, and parietal cell. Those are, again, all a part of creating the glands and fluids and acids that help create food being broken down. And so that would conclude for the stomach, and the stomach is basically the organ in the human body that the food goes in and where it's being broken down is the small intestine. Like I said, the stomach, the small intestine is connected with the stomach, as the small intestine is the next organ that is used for the digestive process. Just like the stomach, the small intestine is connected with the duodenum, and that is the connection of the exit of the stomach and also the entrance of the small intestine. Then you got the jejunum, the ileum, and the circular fluids and villi. Now, those are the parts of the actual small intestine. Then you got the mucous muscle, submuca, and circular muscle, as well as the longitudinal muscle. Those are the muscles that keep the small intestine in shape and help with the digestive system and continue to break down the food while it's in the small intestine. Also, the serosa and absorptive cells, as well as the intestinal glands, those are also what are going to absorb the nutrients that some of the food that we eat take in. So not all of the nutrients is taken in through the stomach. They got the blood vessels and the lymphatic blood vessels, which, like all the other organs, you need blood to be able to run them. And while I'm talking about the small intestine, I'm also going to be talking about the large intestine. Now, the fun fact about the small intestine, the small intestine is 9 meters long. It's about 27 feet. The large intestine, on the other hand, is 4 meters long, but has 3 inches in diameter. So the parts of the large intestine are the ileum, cecum, appendix, semicolon, transverse colon, sigmoid colon, rectum, anal canal, rectal transverse fold, ileocecal valve, and epithelium. The large intestine is also known as the colon, and that's why you'll have the ascending colon, transverse colon, the semicolon, and the sigmoid colon. Those are all the major parts to the large intestine. The rectum is what leads to the anus, which is where you will poop out. The rectal transverse folds are where the large intestine and how it folds into the shape that it is. The ileocecal valve is what keeps the food that enters the large intestine from going back into the small intestine. Now the rectum and the anal canal are, like what I said, just lead to the anus. Alright. We next have the urinary system. While it's not exactly part of the digestive system, it is connected because you do have the rectum and anus, which I have talked about with the large intestine. You have the kidneys, which are again just a blood filter for the urinary system. You have the ureter and bladder, which the ureter is what brings the urine that the body creates because it's toxic. It's toxic for the body, goes to the bladder. The bladder is what holds that urine until it is released. Then you have the urethra, is then what is again just a way for the urine to come out. Right, and now another thing that I'm going to talk about is the disorders that the digestive system has. And one of them is vomiting, and how that happens is whether or not the food that is either one, poisonous to your body, or two, you just have consumed too much that the body can't absorb all of those nutrients from the food that you've eaten. So the body's natural reaction is to vomit. Now another one is diarrhea. Now this one, as well as constipation, is all a part of the large intestine. And something I didn't go over is that the large intestine absorbs 2 liters of water a day. And so if there's too much water, the natural reaction is to have your poop being liquidy, and so that is why you have diarrhea. Constipation, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. Constipation is because the large intestine doesn't have enough water to absorb, so the feces are just turning into hard lumps. Now the gastronucleic dysfunctions are like burping and farting, and that's because there's sometimes gases in the foods that we eat, and because we can't absorb those gases, then the natural reaction for the body is either to send them to the mouth or to the anus. And that's how farting and burping come into place. And then you have peptic ulcers, which that is where is a mental thing that connects to the stomach, so then you don't really feel so good down there.